Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching The Big Bad Theory. This is the 5th episode of the 9th season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you like to watch today's full episode, it is available for the link in the description below. Just clicking it, put a password in, and enjoy. So last episode, Sheldon again was still struggling with the fact that Leonard could potentially move out of the apartment. You know, at the very start, we're seeing Penny, Leonard, and Sheldon all returning from shopping. You know, they was all carrying these like Tupperware box container sort of things. And as Leonard was going to go and store it in his potentially new apartment over at Penny's, you know, where him and his wife now should be living, you know, Sheldon started obviously having a little moan, saying that obviously, you know, they tried to butter him up before coming down and bashing him with the hammer, do you know what I mean, and crushing his world, basically just leaving him on his own. He then did turn around and say, look, it feels like Leonard's leaving me, and also we've had Amy leave me, you know, 2 hammer blows in one. I kind of understand that, you know, I do get where he's coming from, but at the end of the day, you know, Leonard should be living with his wife now, you know what I mean, he can't really be staying across the hall in 2 different apartments, not with each other. As the episode progressed, you know, they signed a roommate agreement that he no longer had to be there. Then, obviously, as the episode ended, they decided that it'd be best for Leonard to move back in. You know, Sheldon was just kind of upset. He's, you know, not feeling great. And, you know, Penny was the one that kind of suggested it, that maybe we just keep things as it is right now until Sheldon's okay. But it just comes back to what I was saying, is Sheldon seems to always get kind of like his own way in situations, and this one, I actually believe that Leonard should be living with Penny. I really, really do, and I feel like we missed the opportunity. I know that obviously Amy's not with him, and they're going through the breakup, and I'm excited for the chase for him to get her back, because I feel like they will do, but I feel like it would have been good if he kept this little brief period where he was on his own in the apartment, needing a roommate, and obviously they ended up reconciliating with Amy and they both moved in together. It would have been just a nice, perfect, easy segue in, you know. They've moved in there because they're married, they're back together, and Sheldon really wants to propose to her again like he was going to, and he proposes to her and she says yeah, and then she moves in, and then obviously we've got the 3 happy couples all in each apartment. That would have been really, really good, but now it's going to be interesting to see what we do and where we go from here. Thanks for checking it out. If you do enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you do, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Is that the prototype drive system for the High-G rover?
No, Bernadette got me a Fitbit so she can track how much I'm exercising.
That'll teach her to care about your health.
Wait to see the look on her face when I die young.
According to a recent study, simply thinking about exercise, even while sitting still, can have physical benefit. For all you know, I could be exercising right now.
Are you?
Nah, I'll do it tomorrow.
Oh, I think I'm getting a runner's high.
Look at all these activities the university has.
You twisted your ankle playing Scrabble.
A triple word score with a double letter Q. If that's not a time to bust out the Scrabble dance, what's the point of having one? Hey, Barry Kripke started a fencing club.
And I would imagine it meets many of our personal criteria for a sport.
It's indoors, so no sunscreen.
No throwing, no catching, no running. And as an added bonus, the word touche comes from fencing. It'd be our only opportunity to use it in a non-metaphorical sense.
About a game of tag on a French schoolyard.
Ah, touche.
Penny stop happening would work.
Sure. So how can we help?
Well, I know more women are buying comics than ever, but for some reason I can't get them in here. In the bathroom, I folded the end of the toilet paper into a triangle. And you are now sitting in the official breastfeeding area.
Really? In a comic book store?
Oh, don't worry, I've got a camera right up here, so I could watch from the counter, make sure guys aren't being pervs.
For starters, you might want to rethink some of this artwork. I mean, this woman's actually on a leash like a dog.
Well, you don't know the backstory. Maybe she kept jumping up on the couch.
The thing is though, right, is that it needs to be mixed, doesn't it? To be honest, it does need to be mixed. Or either you have it segregated areas, you know. There's many stores, let's just call it clothes shopping, because that is literally the easiest example. You walk in, you have men's section, women's section over there. Do you know what I mean? And children's upstairs or downstairs or whatever. It's all split into, do you know what I mean? And not everything's all bundled into one. You know what I mean? So if you want to entice females into the store, you don't want to mix all the female stuff with all the male stuff, if that makes sense. You know, whatever attracts each sex into the store, you want to keep that in their thing. So it's not even sex, to be honest. It's whatever, like, genres. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you don't want to bundle everything all in one location. You want to split it apart so it's easily accessible and people are like, I like that corner, I like that one, I like that one. You know what I mean? So whether it's obviously that chain of that female there, maybe get some posters of hunky men or something over there, maybe something that will drag somebody in that direction. But that'll be interesting to see, because comic books pretty much are male dominant. Now, they're not made for, but most people do. So it'd be interesting to see how he actually brings more people in, because these guys come in often because of the spouses, but it'd be good to see obviously more and more and more come in and have a different store.
I feel cool.
I wanted to be a swashbuckler when I was a kid.
Technically, swashbuckler is a combination of two terms, swash, and then buckler, meaning a small shield, which you don't have.
I hope you're not here because you think it's going to be like Star Wars.
That's not why we're here.
Yeah, I'm here because I think it's going to be like Game of Thrones.
Maybe a little Princess Bride.
Not afraid of physical activity.
Yeah, I already ran 18 miles today.
Let's begin with some fundamentals. This is the on guard position. Elbows about a fist from the rib cage. Notice my dominant leg faces forward.
Well, I'm not sure I have a dominant leg. They're both pretty submissive.
Good. Knees bent, slightly over the toe. Non-sword hand up for balance.
Oh, I am going to feel this tomorrow.
Foot forward, heel to toe, back foot follows. And advance. And advance. Step back. Back foot first, toe to heel. Front foot follow. In fencing, we don't call it a stab, we call it a touch.
Yes, I'm aware, but if I say I want to touch one of my friends, I'll get called into human resources.
1, 2, 3. Very good. Switch it up. 1, 2, 3.
Are you back?
No, I'm teaching a class.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
And 1, 2, 3.
Do you know what? I've never really watched fencing. It is in the Olympics, but I just wondering then, did they have to keep that the back leg on the angle? So they have to advance with it straight. You know what I mean? Like the leading leg obviously pointing forward, and the other one he said at an angle, so like an L shape. Like every time they move back, does that have to stay flat and they move back all the way? And again, I've never really thought of it, but like, did he take turns in stepping forward, stepping back, or is it kind of like, say, boxing, for example, like whoever wants to be the aggressor would just keep going forward, 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 you know what I mean? Or is it like take turns? It's whoever can step forward and stab the person, technically, like Sheldon was saying. Is the more aggressive, the constant forward is the one that wins, or is it, do I get a poke, you get a poke, and it's just us keep going back and forth? I've never watched it ever, but I know that it is in the Olympics, and it's classed as like a, what would you call it, like when you put it in the quotations, kind of like something that you'd expect the Queen or the King to play. Do you know what I mean? Like croquet and fencing, where like not Joe Bloggs on the street who's going to play basketball or football. Do you know what I mean? Like I've never even seen any. I don't even know where you could even play fencing. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it seems to be like an upper classy sport, if that makes sense. But I've never even known the rules, and that, to be honest, it looks a little bit. It looks simple, but a bit complicated. It'd be hard to do and get used to, but like generics, it kind of looks kind of simple.
Have you thought about advertising directly to females?
If I put up a sign in the window that said, "Women come in, don't be afraid."
You read the online reviews for this place?
The internet's so negative, I try to avoid it.
The owner stared at me the whole time and didn't blink once. Kelly M says, the creepy guy who runs it asked me out, then called himself stupid before I could say no. I told the weird owner that I liked his shirt. He took it off and gave it to me.
See? Negative.
Your front leg up and push off with your back leg.
Look at us, we're like the Rockettes. My name is Amigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. I thought you were Puss in Boots.
Oh, yeah, right, sorry. My name is Puss in Boots. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
I'm looking forward to him teaching us glove slapping. You know, when my honor is insulted and I need to challenge someone to a duel by slapping them across the face with my glove.
My name is Little Orphan Annie. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Nice to see your mind off Amy.
What's going on with Amy?
Not that it's any of your business, but she broke up with me.
Really?
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, I hate to say it, but it sounds like he's interested in her.
Well, that's unacceptable.
Buddy, I get that you don't like it, but it's not really up to you.
But he's dumb, and his face is dumb.
Even if it's not him, Amy's probably gonna date someone at some point. She deserves to be happy.
How dare you?
I'd warn you that maybe asking Amy out isn't a good idea.
Harry, a word.
And now the crazy version of what I just said.
If you intend to pursue Amy, you leave me with no choice but to put a stop to it. Challenging you to a duel. Duel will take place at high noon 3 years from today. If you're worth your salt as an instructor, I should be ready by then. I'm going to touch you all over.
Wow, that was crazier than I thought.
All right, I'm not saying it's true, but let's consider for a moment that possibly I'm the problem. What can I do? I get so nervous around women. That's because I'm doing that trick where you imagine the audience is naked.
Maybe he needs to hire somebody else in to
Hear
run
how
it.
creepy that sounds?
It's a joke.
No.
I'm still doing it. I guess I assumed at this point in my life I would be married or in a relationship or even have a pet that didn't run away or kill itself.
Believe it or not, I understand. You know, before I met Sheldon, I was alone for a really long time. I was so desperate for people to like me. When I met these guys, it took everything in my power to hide my insecurity.
Oh, feeling it. Yes, I'll go out with you.
Suddenly the rabbit thing makes sense.
Surprised you wanted to go to a sports bar, Sheldon.
Look at this blister. Like it or not, we're athletes now.
Instead of focusing on Amy dating other guys, maybe you should start thinking about dating another girl.
True. But Penny's married, and so is Bernadette.
Maybe you should consider women who aren't in serious relationships with your closest friend.
Oh, there's a woman. I'll make her my girlfriend.
Walking up to a strange woman in a bar usually doesn't work.
You're forgetting something. Ladies love jocks. Excuse me. I'm recovering from a recent breakup, and I'm told asking out another woman might make me feel better. And as Ash Ketchum said to Pikachu, I choose you.
What?
It's a Pokemon reference.
I don't know what that means.
Well, we gave it a shot.
At least he's got his confidence. That was a good Pokemon one, that.
Got rejection like a pro.
I don't have much experience turning men down. It wasn't so much fun.
Some guys you have to turn down over and over.
And sometimes we marry them anyway.
Well, this is weird. What?
Is it Barry?
Very Kripke just asked me out.
What did he say?
Hi, how are you? I was wondering if you'd like to get a drink after work sometime. I was hoping the next person I dated would be a little less like Sheldon. I don't know.
All right, well, what happens if you imagine him naked?
Oh, I don't have to imagine it.
He does seem like the type of person that would do that. Honestly, Barry does seem the type of person that would do that. But the thing is, right, I am a firm believer that you don't have to be attracted to somebody at first to start dating them. I've said this many times before, but like in my younger days, makes it sound like I'm well old, but like in the younger days, you know, I've been in mixed friendship groups, you know, females, males, and we've all just been mates for time. And then, I don't know, as you progressively go through the years, or you go out drinking, or you go out like, you might, do you know what I mean? Because you're in a friendship group, you kind of just relay and bounce off and just say random shit that you wouldn't say to like most people. Do you know what I mean? So like they'll know a bit more deeper into you than like a Joe Blogs would in the street. And the fact is, you open up, they open up, and then you're like, oh, do you know what? You know, like they're actually much nicer than I ever thought they would have been. Or do you know what I mean? Like I kind of like them as a person. Like they really got, and you start gradually gaining an attraction. You know, things like Tinder and what is it, Bumble and Hinge and stuff like this, and they're instant. You know, people just like don't like them, don't like them, don't like them, don't like them. I like them, and this is why many people, like I would say, the bang average normal looking people don't really get a shot, but most people that get given a chance, you figure out personalities are decent. And once you get a decent, like looks can change. You could be really good looking now in 2 years. You could be fat as anything. Or you could be fat as anything right now, put an effort in the gym and be, you know, slim and toned. Personality is always the same. If you're an arsehole now, you'll always be an arsehole. You know what I mean? That doesn't change in my opinion. So attraction can grow. It's all about personality. And if you got a little bit of connection, why not give it a small chance? You know what I mean? That's what I would say anyway. But in terms of these, Barry's well full forward.
I taste salty and kind of delicious. I wonder how many licks it would take to get to the center of me.
I know it only takes one doctor's finger.
Hello.
Hello. You don't have to leave.
Look at me go!
Have you been?
I'm doing all right. I tried fencing today. Barry Kripke was there. I should let you know that he expressed interest in asking you out. But don't get too attached to him. In 2 years, 364 days, he's a dead man.
I said no.
I asked 2 women out today, and they both said no.
I didn't know you were interested in dating.
I've been told it's a good way to move on.
It's nice to see you. You look good.
And I taste good, too.
See, it kind of hurt Amy that. Now she's thinking, if he's looking to date, should I? Maybe.
Why does your Fitbit say you ran 174 miles yesterday?
I mean, come on, man. He's made the biggest rookie mistake ever there. You got to make it believable, haven't you? You know what I mean? Maybe run 3 miles, 4 miles. Not running, he said 18, didn't he, when he was in the fencing class. Even if he wore it during his fencing class, he would have busted out a sweat. Do you know what I mean? And got his steps in. And if you got to do something, you got to make it believable. It's like when Penny, yeah, was trying to show Leonard that she was smart enough to take that college exam on her own, and what she actually done is she brought in her mates, obviously Amy and Bernadette, to help her do it, and they helped her get like an A-, because obviously getting an A-star or whatever would be not believable. You know what I mean? Like, she done it smart. She knew, let's make something that looks like it's a good accomplishment but believable that I can achieve, and not something so far-fetched that people are going to raise eyebrows. That's what people don't understand. It's like people who cheat on tests in school. Yeah? Why would you take all the answers and get every single one right? It's just going to raise eyebrows when you've never done that before. You get like 90% or something like that, still get a pass and just go under the radar. You know what I mean? So he messed up on that one. And obviously, if you're talking about Fitbit and steps and stuff like that, how many steps do you do a day? Now, obviously, I wear an Apple Watch, and obviously it tracks my movement. And over the last 6 to 8 months or something, I've been averaging about 12,000 steps a day. I would say that's pretty good, to be honest. My job as well, sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. It's a mixed bag, to be honest. It's not, I'm not sat at a desk all day every day, so like obviously I probably get a bit more steps in than other people. But I'm out and about, do drive quite a bit as well, and I'm always kind of rotating to different sites and speaking to people. So I feel like 12,000 is pretty good, to be honest. It's over 10 anyway. People say try and strive for 10, so I'm above that average, and you know, I wish I could do more. It is hard. If you do running, obviously you can get it in there, but it's so boring. Running is the most boring thing ever, mate. You're just doing the same thing straight like that. No fun at all. Especially playing sports. Like I was saying before, I've never played fencing. Don't even know where to go to do fencing, you know, around here. I feel like it's like more of an upper class sport. But to be honest, anyone can play it, but it's just usually associated that way. I would much rather do something like that, which I've never done before, than go for a run. Running is so boring. And like I said, if he wanted to make his wife Bernadette believed that he was doing exercise, should have done a high number like that. That is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So obviously Amy's doing nothing wrong in terms of, you know, getting proposals. Well, not proposals, you know what I mean? Like, there are people courting her to take her out on a date, and I don't think Sheldon's doing anything wrong about going out and trying to move on as well, the way the guys was obviously saying. People used to say rebound, didn't it? Usually you come out of a relationship, you're going to rebound. The first one doesn't usually always stick, to be honest. It's kind of like have a bit of fun, get it out your stream, do you know what I mean? Don't sit around and be depressed, just go out there, have a good time, and try and get yourself into that moving on stage. And, you know, Sheldon went out and he asked 2 people. He's a little bit confident. Obviously, he's been working out. It feels like he's, you know, a jock now, like he was saying. Confidently gone over and asked 2 girls out. To be honest, I thought his Pokemon reference was pretty good, to be honest. I actually really liked it. She didn't understand it. It was obviously never going to work. I mean, I feel like nobody's ever going to be as good as Amy for him. I feel like she's just a perfect blend between somebody that can accept his full-on weirdness package and also understand half the stuff that he's talking about. Do you know what I mean? That's the hardest thing with Sheldon. It's finding somebody that understands half the stuff that he's on about. And then the second hardest part about it is accepting all of his weird things that he takes, you know, like that he has with his contracts and all these OCD procedures that he follows. And I feel like Amy is just the lucky one. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's unlucky for her, but like, she's his lucky one. He can't find anyone better for him, and obviously, he probably knows that, but like I say, he's trying to get on that horse and he's gone out. His last 2 people got rejected. Barry's asked Amy. She's rejected him. If she accepted it, it would have been totally fine. I would have nothing, like I say, no problems with that. I just feel like she's done the right thing in terms of the context of the person that it was. You know, I feel like it's all right getting back on the horse and it's all right going out dating again, because if you're not together, like some people say as well, mate, you broke up yesterday, yeah? So, like, you can't be accepting a date today, for example. So if it was one day, if I broke up with my girlfriend, say today, would it be too fast for me to go on a date tomorrow if somebody asked me out? Now, personally, in my head, I think, yeah, it is. But then my other side of my head is also saying, well, if you're broken up, why would you reject the chance of being with the person that you could potentially supposed to be with? Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, obviously, you could say that things are too fast, but just by taking that approach, you might be missing out on that person that is actually the right one. You know what I mean? So, like, when people are courting and pursuing you, you know, you should always keep your options open. But when it's somebody that is a friend slash enemy. You know, he's like a frenemy, Kripke. Do you know what I mean? They're always clashing heads, butting against each other, but they're always kind of mates as well. He does get invited around and stuff. He's not the right person to go out with. Do you know what I mean? It's whether it's Raj or Kripke or Stuart that's asking Amy out. She should always reject those people because they are too close to Sheldon. It's not fair. You know what I mean? There's rules. You know what I mean? There's like unwritten rules. It's just about respect of that person. And she done well. I mean, he's not respected. The guy's just sending, it looks like dick pics about it. He's not even bothered. But in terms of her, she rejected it. But then obviously having that conversation with Sheldon might make her think maybe I should go out there and start looking again. And she did look a little bit sad and upset hearing that he asked 2 people out. So it's going to be interesting going forward. Honestly, it really is. You know, he told her that and she was upset. He was found out that Barry was going to ask Amy out and he kind of challenged him to a duel in 3 years' time. So both of them are kind of upset in their own little way. And it's going to be interesting to see how obviously both react going forward. And if Amy does turn up on a date with somebody, then what's Sheldon going to do? And how's he going to react when it's somebody that he doesn't know? These are going to be all the interesting questions that I can't wait to find out. It's a decent episode again today. Thanks for checking it out. If you did enjoy it, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.